It's icy, it's slippery, you're zipping through traffic, bang, rear-ended, fender bender. So you get out to exchange information and you're inclined to ask the person that hit you, what were you doing? And they respond, valid question. In the year 1994, I drove a Pontiac Sunfire and I had an absolute clean driving record for the entire year, did not break a single traffic law, wore my seatbelt every day, and did everything I could to keep the roads safe. Any other question? Your mind would explode with frustration. What the hell does that have to do with right here and right now? You rear-ended me. No further comments. How does question period in the Canadian House of Commons work? Let's talk about it. So the Canadian House of Commons is where all our elected MPs and officials meet. So I referenced the House of Commons in this video as a physical place several times. The House of Commons is the lower section of Parliament, comprised of 338 elected MPs that represent Canadians all over the country. It's not a physical place. I think myself, like a lot of Canadians, envision it as a physical place, and they picture the room that we see on TV. The Chamber of Commons is where they meet, but neither here nor there. A lot of times they're not talking about nothing anyways. On seating days, where they all fly and burn up copious amounts of money, I'm sure, to get there and chit-chat about the bills, the laws, and the troubles that our country faces to supposedly come up with solutions and get to the bottom of things. So I've taken the liberty of just looking up a couple things. We want to be factual here. At the end of every scheduled sitting day, when you have all these folks, and if you don't know what the Canadian House of Commons is, you got to look it up. Oh, it's just beautiful. Craftsmanship, wood on everything, a very off-putting shade of lime green carpet and upholstery. But anyways, at the end of every sitting day, 45 minutes is allotted to question period. Now, question period is basically the leader or an elected member of the opposition, so meaning the party that is not in power, well, they'll drum up a question. Let's not glaze over the fact there are a few rules to this. You have to be seated in your assigned seat. Well, that sounds like kindergarten, and if you've watched clips of it on the internet, it basically looks like kindergarten. Direct their question through the chair. So you'll hear this, Mr. Speaker, or in the case that the speaker at the time is a lady, Madame Speaker. It is very old school. This person sits at the front of the room in a what was basically looks like a throne, and they wear the robe, the whole deal. It's quite an ordeal. You direct your question through the chair, right? So you're not having a direct conversation. You don't have two people yelling at each other across the room. It's a third party. They're supposed to be like a mediator. So direct through the chair, be brief, and seek information. Well, isn't that the root of any question? Seek information. And if you're the leader of an opposition party in any form of government, well, I'm sure you've got a few questions about what the other party is up to. If you do have interest in watching these clips, there's a gentleman that has a good channel. I don't even know how he stomachs the amount of hours of this kind of stuff that he watches and puts videos up. Mr. Sunshine Baby, I believe, is his channel name. He really puts the work in, and he's quite humorous doing it as well, you know, because of course with the clips, he gathers up the best of the good parts. Now, restrictions, there's a whole long list. Basically, you can't be hypothetical, you can't ask questions to a minister if that's not their department, on and on and on. Be polite, don't swear. On goes the thing. This is where we're getting to. This is why someone needs to explain to me how this works or what the point is. What is the purpose of a question? You ask a question because you want an answer, correct? In response to a question, a minister may provide an answer, defer an answer, explain briefly why an answer cannot be provided at that time, or, and this is the best one, say nothing. if you can imagine. Say nothing. Well, typically in the form of government, if you're asked a question and you just stand there and say nothing, well, it makes you look guilty very quickly, because usually what they're doing is bashing on each other about policy, and usually the root of that policy is, where did the money go? We had the money's gone, what did you do with it? That's what they want to know. And holy man, I'll tell you, I mean, we run a small business. We do bookkeeping. I have to account for where the dollars went. Surely that the federal government would know where your toonies and loonies got thrown, I would think. They never answer a question. And it's infuriating to me. Your kid comes home from school, grade 12, the whole future is on the horizon for them. They bring home their report card. F, F, F. That's probably not even a thing anymore. I don't even think they give out Fs in school because it's offensive, you know. Everyone passes. But they get an F. You can't move forward. You're not going to graduate. Well, Johnny's got to give this report card to his mom and dad. Mom and dad go, obviously. Johnny, you had such bright hope ahead of you. Why didn't you graduate? And he just stands there and looks at him. Good question, Mom and Dad. But what I will refer you to is in grade 6, I studied hard, I got straight A's, and I was a dedicated student, and I did everything I could for my future. What? But that was in grade 6. You just failed. You didn't graduate. It doesn't matter. Let's just focus on the good. You know, that's how all these questions work. I encourage you to watch some of it. I mean, not all. If you watch a highlight reel of anything, you know, it's like bloopers, right? They're going to put the worst on there. But unfortunately, if you can manage to sit through and watch an entire question period, sometimes it just looks like an entire blooper reel. Nobody gets anywhere. Direct questions. If I ask you, is this sign orange? Yes or no? And then I just stop. What answer could you possibly give me? They'd go, Mr. Speaker, we hear the opposition's question and we'd like to refer them to the fact that we have put millions of dollars into road safety and infrastructure and signage for Canadians with their safety and best interest at heart. That would be the answer to, is this placard orange? That would be the answer. It would just be absurd, you know? It's hard to wrap your head around it. So if, you know, if you have a better idea than me as to how the Canadian House of Commons question period works, dive into the comments. Dive into the comments and just let me know what you think anyways. Watch some of these clips. Rock over to one of these guys like Mr. Sunshine Baby. Watch his channel. And really absorb what is going on, because there's not, I don't care who you are. You would never teach your kids to behave like that. Never. Johnny, did you steal a cookie out of the cookie jar? That's a yes or a no. Well, I will refer to the fact that I cleaned my room 3 days in a row this week and remembered to brush my teeth twice. What the hell's that got to do with the question? Nothing. So it might seem absurd, but when you dumb it down to just kindergarten level, the principle's the same. If you're asked something, you're supposed to give an answer, I think. Even just in terms of being a polite human being, are you not supposed... They're always on about being respectful. Oh yeah, because they say it's always the honorable member. The honorable member representing such and such. If you got a title that has the word honorable in it, you damn well better be able to answer a simple yes or no question. Did you waste the money? Did you not waste the money? Question period. Anyways, that's my thoughts on that subject. If you know better than me, comment. And if you're not already subscribed, it's free. There's very few things left you can do in this world for free. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Growing a beard is free. You could do that if you can muster one up. The list is pretty short. Thanks for watching.